Hello and welcome back to the HCCTV Student Lounge. This is a show done by HCC students for HCC students to give your opinions in news, entertainment, and what's going on in your school. My name is Kyle Aragon. So today we don't have Caroline again. I think she's trying to escape from us. But we have Benjamin, and I feel like he really likes to be here because he's been stealing. He stole my place one time, now Carolina. But it's good to have you. How are you, Benjamin?
I'm doing pretty good. If you miss one more time, I'll just replace both of y'all. But I'm just playing. Today, we're also joined by Francisco, Josh, Andres, and Eric. And we'll also be joined by a guest, Irina Jacobson, who's here to talk about how to keep a good relationship. But first, let's move on to our three top news of the week. So we are officially in the fall. So how do we know it's officially the fall? Well, Starbucks starts pushing the pumpkin spice everything on you. No, I'm just playing. So we know this. We know this because of in September 22nd we had the fall equinox. The word equinox was derived from the Latin words, and I might butcher this, but it's aqueous, the Latin prefix for equal, and nox, the Latin word for night. The equal refers to the nearly equal amount of daylight minutes and darkness minutes on this day, which is about 12 hours each. So, how do you feel about this, Kyle, that we're having, like, I guess I noticed myself that we have more nighttime now than daylight. So what do you feel about that?
Yeah, I honestly I don't like too much because it's harder to wake up in the morning because everything's dark, and then it gets dark too early too. So I'm not a big fan of that. I love summer because I love to have sunlight most of my day. I'm a little upset, but and it gets cold too. Today it's already a little like chilly outside. So I thought it was fun. A little bit fall started and boom, here you go like the chilly weather. Which it's nice.
No, it's crazy how it's just we turn on the 22nd and it's like I don't know where we just get this like cold front in and we're already feeling chilly. Another news, Apple announces new updates on their devices. On September 15th, Apple announced new updates to their iPad and iPad Air tablets. This time around, the iPad Air will have a whole new refresh on their screen, making it similar to the iPad Pro. And then both of those tablets also got a performance increase. We also got news on the new Apple Watch Series 6 with new sensors to read your blood oxygen levels. I myself am quite disappointed due to the fact that a lot of fans were waiting for the announcement of the new iPhone 12, which we didn't get this time around. But we're waiting to receive any updates. Were you expecting a new iPhone, Kyle?
Yeah, you know what's funny because like I saw the news about the new Apple Watch and I was like, hold on. They usually announce a new iPhone every September, so and I thought we were gonna have another event like soon. So, like, what's going on? You don't know anything about that?
Well, supposedly, this whole world, the world has just changed because of this pandemic. So Apple, maybe with the manufacturing process, they said that there were going to be some slowdowns on some of their products. So the iPhone is one of their biggest launches for the year. So, they kind of like, let's get it perfect, let's get it ready. So I'm assuming that's one of the reasons why it took them so long to
Yeah, I mean,
announce it. And maybe next month we'll get the announcement.
yeah, it's totally understandable. I think there's a lot of products that were supposed to be released and they are having a lot of trouble, like to actually keep manufacturing them. So it's understandable. So what's the next new? I know you got one more in there, right?
Oh yeah, and one more thing from one of my favorite like companies, and one day I hopefully will get one of these cars. Elon Musk is now richer than Warren Buffett. So Tesla CEO Elon Musk is now the seventh richest person in the world, surpassing the legendary investor Warren Buffett as Tesla stock continues to skyrocket. As of Friday, Musk is worth about $70.5 billion, roughly $1 billion more than Buffett. After the company stock hit an all-time high that day, uh, so what I was just thinking about all that money, I was like, if only they could just spare me like $1 million each, that would be awesome. I accept Cash App donations, so just hit me up on the comments below, and I'll let y'all know the my Cash App for Warren or Elon could just send me just a merely $1 million.
Honestly, in this note, I just want to say something because we've been talking so much about Elon Musk that it was about time to him to become a sponsor or something right here. Give $1 million to each member of the student lounge. I think it's more than fair, right? So hopefully it will happen at some point. So what's going on now, Benjamin?
So today we're going to talk about the topic of what can we do to have or keep healthy relationships during this time of quarantine. So I know myself right now. it's kind of been a struggle because it's like, for example, like with my friends or like with even my girlfriend, like it's so limited to what we can do, and we're trying to prevent to go out much because of what's going on. We don't want to catch coronavirus, or we want to prevent it to bringing it to our homes and spreading it to our families. So what we try to do a lot is like being on FaceTime most of the time, or like talk or text over the phone, do it the most that we can. And with some of my friends, what I've done too is like we get on Xbox or PlayStation and we just start playing games, and how you have the little chat feature, so it doesn't feel too much like we're far away, or we haven't talked for a minute. But that's one of the ways that I kind of do it to keep up with my friends and to keep those relationships there.
Yeah, which you understand, it's understandable too, but you got to think that in some cases, and actually that's what we're going to be talking today, it's hard to be apart, but at the same time, if you're confined with the person and in one small apartment for like this long time, and the quarantine is not lasting 40 days, quarantine is lasting like 100 days or more already. So it's really tough for some people to be literally locked down in the same place with each other. And luckily, like me and my girlfriend, we worked really well together when we were like lockdown. Like we lived together, and I think what helped us to keep a good relationship was communication, and also giving each other some personal space, not be, like the whole time like trying to get her attention or talking to her, let her have her space, talk to her family, talk to her friends, and same thing with me. And I think this respect creates some sort of like, personal like bubble. We call it like personal bubble, your own bubble. You want to be in your bubble sometimes. You don't want to be disturbed. So as long as you respect each other in this matter, I think things can work. And of course, communication. If something's bothering you, just talk to her, talk to your partner. Hey, I'm not happy with this. Like you're doing this and that. Let's try to keep a good relationship and let's try to improve in that. So, this be helping a lot, and I want to hear from people from here, the Student Lounge. What else you guys have that you want to share with us?
Well, Kyle, I think when it comes to hobbies, what I usually do as a young man, for most people that are young in their 20s or early 30s, working out, staying fit, bench press, push-ups, sit-ups, is a good way to stay in shape and keep yourself busy. For people who are senior citizens or people over the age of 40, I find a lot of them are doing puzzles. Puzzles kind of keep your mind sharp. So doing puzzles is kind of a good way to keep active and everything. But for myself, I'm kind of a screenwriter, so I write scripts on my computer. So that's kind of another thing I do in my spare time. I'm a aspiring filmmaker. But there are a lot of activities you can do to make yourself feel very active and not bored. So that's kind of my opinion on how it should be done.
Speaking about communication, it's important to also keep track about your quiet friends. Being the quiet kid in my group, I know it's kind of hard to reach out for help or even just to talk to someone in general. So if you can, you should lend a hand to your quiet friends and see how they're doing.
No, I think not just the quiet friends, but in general, like everyone. Just text them, say, hey, how are you? Like, actually, I was surprised because during the quarantine, that happened to me a lot. A lot of people like text me to check out on me, and I text people to check on them. Hey, how are you? How things are? How are your family? So I think that's really important. And it's true too. Sometimes some people are gonna lie. They say, no, I'm fine, but I think also you can be based on what they post on social media. You can kind of follow those traits, see like if they posting some really weird stuff, you can sometimes get some clue and try to get some help to those people. And, and of course, try to maybe even save a life. So that's a really important thing. So, and for this topic today, we have Irina Jacobson. And we're going to be talking about exactly like how therapy, psychologists, they can help you to improve your relationship, or even some little tips and some little things that you can do in your day-to-day to help you improve. So how are you today, Irina?
Well, I'm doing great, and actually I'm very excited that you invited me today to talk about one of my favorite subjects, relationship. And I gotta share with you guys, this time is a field time for people like us, psychotherapists. Guess why? Guess who is coming to our offices? A lot. Couples. And I don't have to explain you why being confined, like you said, in a sometimes one bedroom, sometimes just even one room apartment can get on your nerves. And this time is actually serves as an excellent litmus test for the health of your relationship. So let me start. I want to kind of open up for a little bit of a discussion afterwards, but let me start one thing which might sound a little unorthodox to you. Not all relationships have to survive. And right now, again, we're talking about partner relationship because relationship can be with your roommates, your parents, your kids, your friends. Got it. Right now, for the sake of time, we're concentrating on our partners, long-term life partners relationship. And sometimes being being isolated with somebody for a while, you might really have, like an epiphany. Say, hey, is this the person I want to retire with? Because guess what, in about 40 years, pretty much 50 years, all you guys probably got to be retired. And that's what happens. You pretty much you're getting in your isolation again. You're pretty much spending all your retirement time with that particular partner. And sometimes this epiphany happens. Hey, that's absolutely not the person I want to be retired with. And this is okay. It's better to be honest about it now, in very clear, be very, very honest with yourself and very clear with yourself. If that's the person you want. And think how to continue with or not continue with the relationship. Now, but say if you're on the fence, well, if everything goes fine and you absolutely love staring at yourself 24/7 all day long, then this conversation is not for you. You can just disconnect and daydream. But if you're kind of on the fence saying, well, I do like this person, I do find him or her very attractive in many respects, but there's lots of things are coming up which I didn't see in this person before, and some of them somewhat bothersome. Okay, what do I do? And here we already have cool things said, communications, first and foremost. There is a term in psychotherapy called mind reading. We think that we look at the other person and we know what he or she wants. But guess what? This person is not us. No matter how much we love him or her, he or she is absolutely not me. And if we were magicians, we would have aced on our tests. We didn't have to study. We already all have PhDs and be Bill Gates. We're not. So we have to ask, even if we know, ask a question, but ask it in a very nice and polite. Just don't say, what the F is wrong with you? Why are you staring at me? Why are you mad at me? Say, honey, is something the matter? Let's talk about it. Just first rule of communication is be considerate and polite with your partner. I'm giving you like basic communication skills. If you guys ever interested in any couple of marriage therapies, there is a very cool people called John and Judy Gottman, who is an utmost couple therapist, and that's their skills for communication is coming from. Another one is called turn into your partner. What does it mean? Say you're sitting there playing a computer game, and your partner walks by and saying, hey, John, what do you think about this moon outside? You might think in the back of your mind, crap, I just missed my shot. Is it good for relationship? Not so much. The best thing is to turn around and acknowledge your partner. Maybe at least say, well, hey, honey, let me finish the game, then we'll get back to the moon. Or at least say, yeah, that is a beautiful moon. If you're an ace in your communication strategies, you would say, absolutely, that's such a beautiful moon. I would love to go on vacation with you and stare on this moon for hours. I'm exaggerating, but you get my point. Another thing which we tend to do, and we're human, it's called stonewalling, meaning if we met at a partner, we tend to completely break communication down. We tend to just shut down, don't look at the partner addresses us directly, we make a mean face, we don't communicate. This is a no in relationship. Just be conscious, and everybody's guilty of that, everybody. Just be conscious of that. And the last thing, which actually Gottman found out to be the biggest predictors of relationship breakup, is when one partner feels superior to another partner. And it shows in the conversation, saying, what do you know? You know, just make somebody, your partner will talk about something. Who are you to talk about it? What, contempt. What do you know? Who are you to even say something like that? Contempt is the biggest predictor of relationship breakup. So that I'm just telling you now, getting away from Gottman's. If you find yourself being contemptuous of your partner, think again why. Is it something in you? Is it, it might be something in your partner that you find very unattractive. And then you go into the deeper soul dive. But if you find your partner being contemptuous to you, there is two ways around. Your partner might be just asshole, then you know what to do. Or another way, your partner might be hurt by something, might be genuinely, deeply upset. And then we go back to our communication. And just not to take much of your time, but I want to give you one, I think, really cool relationship tool, especially applicable to isolation when you stay with your partner for a long time. How well do you think you know your partner? Do you know what is your question? Do you know what's your partner's biggest dream?
Well, I would say kinda, because the dreams is always changing, you know, and I feel like the person is changing too. So, and I think that makes part of the relationship. You know, I'm not the same who I used to be. Like, we met like 6 years ago. So through those 6 years, a lot of us, like, I changed, she changed. The thing is, like, is your change a change that it's acceptable for me? It's something that I can live with, or is your change something that has nothing to do with me anymore? So that's how.
Awesome. No, that's a great comment. Where I was getting to with that one, with this train of thought, it's a great time to actually find out more about your partner. Maybe, like you said, your partner is changing and it's a new person living with you. You want to know if this is a person you align with, or some changes in required in you. Or sometimes we don't know, again, what our partner's life dream. We sometimes don't even know if the partner wants to have children, if the partner wants to get married, where the partner wants to live, what the partner wants to do professionally. Sometimes you can live with a partner for years, especially in the beginning of relationship, and have no idea.
I think too, like, some people are kind of scared of like finding out more about the partner, and maybe, you know, finding out that the partner is boring, because it could be, you know, like you start asking questions and you see, oh my God, why am I with this person? And I believe that's one of the reasons why, like, a lot of couples now are looking for it, because they realize that that's not the person they thought the partner was. So.
And actually, this is very normal. This is actually very normal. We're all human. And like you said, we all grow and change. And it's, again, unorthodox view, but it is what it is. It's a reality of life. Sometimes one partner does change and grow, and the other one doesn't. And then again, there is no black and white. There is no dividing there. We decide, every couple decides what they want to do. They either want to maybe stay together, kind of live, go their separate ways, staying together. They want to split up, or they want to try to grow together. But it's something to be very aware of. And another thing, which I tell you, not just as a therapist, but as somebody who a little bit older than you guys, who've been in relationships, is paramount, is to be very, and this is like not, I was trying to keep it light, but this is not light, but it might be very helpful to you all. Be very honest, brutally honest with yourself about what you want in life, and and who you are inside. What are your values? There are some values which called deal breakers in life. And if your particular partner can help you or can attest to these deal breakers, if he can't, sometimes this relationship are doomed to fail, or you will be dishonest to yourself, or you will not live your authentic life. So the first thing, be honest who you are, know your values, some values that you cannot compromise, and then be honest if this partner is somebody who can who can help you live up these values.
Perfect. Those are great tips. I think that I need to hear some of that, and I think a lot of people in here need to hear that. So it was really good to have you today here. Now we need to move on to the next topic, but we appreciate your time.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so what's going on now, Benjamin? Tell me.
So now we're gonna move on to the entertainment section of the show. So any movies that you have out there to recommend for us or any shows, Kyle?
I have a bunch of them, but today I don't feel like telling none of y'all. No, just kidding. We have a lot of people, so I'm just gonna move on to Francisco straight up. Right, Francisco, what do you got for us today?
Hi, Kyle. So today I have a kind of a entertainment activity recommendation. So an escape room, right? You go in and then you solve a bunch of puzzles and you're like kind of locked in a room. But obviously we can't do that. We can't have like enclosed spaces with groups of people in them. Some companies, including the escapegame.com, I saw a video that they put on YouTube where they have a person who works there who is kind of using a GoPro to show people like through the internet what's going on in the room, and they can like tell them like, oh, go and move these dials or go and insert this key or whatever, and they can actually participate in the escape room without being exposed to any of the virus or anything. So I think that kind of stuff, super creative and super cool. But Eric, do you have any more conventional entertainment for us?
With this topic in mind, about the psychology and therapy, I want to recommend a movie called Good Will Hunting. Good Will Hunting came out in the late 90s. It got the Academy Award for Best Screenwriting. It's about a character that's working as a janitor, but he's very, very intelligent and smart. And he's approached by a therapist. It stars Matt Damon, Ben Affleck, and the late Robin Williams. This therapist tries to help this individual to come out of his shell because he's very boxed in and realize how smart he really is. It's a hardcore drama. They got nominated for Best Screenplay, and I do recommend it for the entire family. I think that it would be a very good topic for this particular therapy subject that we're talking about in this session. But that's my recommendation.
Okay, today for this topic, I want to recommend the 13 Reasons Why. It's a Netflix series that it has 4 seasons. The series revolves around the suicide of Hannah Baker, that who she leaves a box with cassette tapes when she explained why she decided to end her life. Those reasons are full of problems with her classmates. Problems like alcohol, drugs, depression, abortion, family problems, a lot of problems. But in the end of the series, the series leaves a good message for all the people. Actually, in the final of each episode, you can see a website and a telephone number when the people can call to receive advice if they have some problems. I want to recommend this series because the plot is very good, the performance are very good too, and all the topics are very real. So right now you can watch this series in Netflix.
The movie I want to recommend is Click by Adam Sandler. It came out in 2006. It's about a man he's a workaholic and he wants to get through all the boring parts of life. And he comes upon this universal TV remote that lets him skip past any part of life that he wants. And as he skips past all the boring remedial things, he starts to realize that he's missing life itself. Like he's not getting to enjoy life to its fullest. Because if you're not experiencing the down, you're not going to be able to celebrate the up. So I think it's a very inspirational movie, and it kind of ties into the theme of like therapy and making yourself a better life.
Perfect. Thanks so much, Josh. Well, since we were talking about entertainment, what's the best way to enjoy entertainment than video games, right? So for this, we have Vincent. Vincent, come share with us what you got for video games this week.
All right, hello guys. Welcome back to Virtual News, your news for everything gaming. So I just want to talk about everything that happened recently. Microsoft just bought Bethesda for $7.5 billion. That's pretty big news because that's more than even Star Wars was bought for. Star Wars was bought for $4 billion. So this is almost double that. So people are really worried about how all of Bethesda's games might become exclusives. So Sony's pretty scared about that right now. Next news, Left 4 Dead 2, the 12-year-old zombie game, was recently updated with community official content. This is pretty exciting because that means could the community of any game update their own game? And as long as they keep it alive, I guess anything's possible. And then I just want to recommend one game for everyone because during this trying times, I guess something like a puzzle game would be really helpful. Like my friend Eric said earlier, I want to recommend a game called Portal. It's like an escape room type of game, but there's like 20 of them. So think about like 20 escape rooms that get harder and harder each time. But you also have to solve each escape room using the power of portals. You can teleport from one side to another using portals to get from one end of the room to get to the other. All right, and that's about it for this week on gaming news. I'll pass it back to you.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Vincent. Well, guys, it's the time of the day to say goodbye. I think we had a really good show today. And I would like to thank you for watching and stick to the end because we have the funny video or the fun meme of the week, okay? And again, thank you so much for watching and I see you next week.
Yeah, thank you so much for watching us. Like Kyle just said, we're really happy to be here making a show for all of y'all week to week. Also, we would really appreciate it if you guys could just share it on social media and also leave comments down in the comments below with questions or topics that we can talk about next week. So we'll see you on the next time on the Student Lounge. Bye, guys.